Bronzo on the restart. Weaves his way, fires and scores.
We get to attack, coming middle, trying to free himself
up, shot, score. Gets around Weed, off the bounce, shot, and a score. Wow. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score.
Up top, Druin.
He wants a shot, and he's got it. Wow.
Meanwhile, Arbusto, one-handed shot is up and in. Got a penalty flag down.
Skip pass sets up the board, and it's time to pluck a chicken.
No. But a good one-handed scoop up by
Roy, and then he lights the lamp. Lowers that left shoulder and fires up the Cougar fans. Look at this.
Nice play.
Fake shot by Brunzik, and then he drills it on his way to the ground.
Chase, extra feed,
Shot, score, game over.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Bedford. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. It's the Pinkerton Astros and the Bedford Bulldogs with the number 1 seed on the line. Both teams are 13-4 coming into the regular season finale. The winner will capture the top overall seed in the upcoming 9-team Division I tournament. The loser's still in a good spot. We'll finish the year at 13-5, guaranteed a number 3 seed and a home matchup in the upcoming quarterfinals. It's been interesting. These two teams have been outstanding against in-state competition by and large, Roger, all season. The majority of those 4 losses for these two teams coming against very good out-of-state opponents. Both teams are led by first-year head coaches. And as we include Bishop Girton in that top 3 mix, that's 3 clubs led by first-year men, all with 13-4 records. Of course, the Cardinals concluded their season last night with a big win over Londonderry. So BG is locked in as the number 2 seed no matter what happens tonight.
No matter what happens tonight, they are. And we were commenting off camera that out of the top 6 teams in Division I that are going to place the result of tonight, 4 of those coaches are first-year coaches. We got to include Jimmy Ward down in Londonderry as well. Right. So, I mean, certainly didn't allow those programs to take a step back from where they were a year ago with their prior coaches. So this is always a big night here in Bedford. Pinkerton Bedford's always the one you mark on the schedule. It's wonderful that it's going to seed, have repercussions for the seedings for the playoffs, and you can feel the electricity in the air about all of that right now.
It is a jam-packed house. Community night here as well. We'll see several youngsters at halftime participating.
Yeah.
Big night, Bedford Youth Night here. And as a result, a big community presence with the parking lot filling up fast.
Yeah, senior night here, honoring both the 6 seniors at Pinkerton as well as Bedford. We've got kids crawling all over the place with Boston Bedford Cannon pennies on, ready to go here. So there'll be a big support for the Bulldogs.
Also, the sun is reappearing just in time. It was raining, kind of cloudy, overcast. Weren't sure what we were going to see at game time, but right now the sun has broken through. It's a comfortable 67 degrees. That turf field may be a little soggy. But again, looking at each team, we know what the goals are. Bedford, they've been led really all season, at least on the attack, by 2 of the state's best juniors, Bennett Matthews and Brody Helton. And Pinkerton, of course, they've got a nice mix of upperclassmen and youth as well. A lot of veterans on this squad. They've just quietly taken care of business. Their latest, a big win over Nashua North, 19-2. Bedford concluded a 2-game road trip with a 21-8 victory over Keene.
Yeah, they're going into the playoffs strong, both teams, and you like to see that from any team going into the playoffs. Their firepower on the Pinkerton side comes from their attack and from Gormley on midfield. What I want to see tonight is from both sides, how are they going to match up against Bennett and Helton? How does Bedford with their defense. Match up against Quintilani, Levi Weaver, who scored a couple games in that goals in that game against Londonderry we did a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really interested to see where the defense strategizes itself around those firepower guys out there.
Yeah. What else do we watch for, Roger? Give us a couple of keys both ways.
Well, we thought in the game that we did against Londonderry that Owen Perkins was going to be that goalie. He had apparently broken his hand, I believe, right before that game, and Burwell stepped in for him for the rest of the season. He has been a surprise. He has seen some success out there. So he's going to be a key to a big-time game like this. And we know how Ethan Kahn is. I'm very interested to see how both goaltenders respond in such a high-tension, high-pressure situation where the first and the third seed are on the line here. It's not just a win and a loss now. It's where you're going to end up in the playoffs.
Bedford trying to do it for a second straight year. The Bulldogs ultimately gearing up for another championship game appearance potentially. They fell a few goals short, 15-12 the final last year against Bishop Girton. And for Pinkerton, trying to get back to the championship game for the first time in a few seasons. They were last Division I champions in 2019.
Yeah, of course, this was the game in the semifinals last year with Bedford and Pinkerton, and even during the season, Bedford won that in-season contest. So, I think this will be a good contest, but we'll certainly know what the bracket completely looks like when the bell rings here.
All right, when we come back, it's game time. Packed house here in Bedford. Top seed on the line. Astros and Bulldogs coming up next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Back here in Bedford, getting set for the final regular season game, statewide. With the tournament looming, both Bedford and Pinkerton with a chance to capture the top overall seed. Bulldogs hoping to do it a second straight year. Nick Anastas along with Roger Howe and a few thousand other folks here in Bedford. Pinkerton at 13-4, coming in off a big win over Nashua North. 6 seniors honored here in Bedford before the game.
Yep.
Bulldogs officially with 7. First-year head coach on the Bedford sideline, Steve Gaudreau, longtime Pinkerton head coach. And, of course, his longtime assistant, Marty Ogier, now enjoying his first season as head man. He'll be on the visitor side tonight.
So many pieces to the puzzle in D1 this year with a lot of these changes, and add Ken Blaska to that, the assistant coach as well on the Pinkerton staff from Timberlane.
Yeah. All right, let's turn things downstairs to the public address announcer as we get set for the starting lineups and then the national anthem.
Both of these teams entered today's contest with identical records of 13 wins and only 4 losses. It should be a great game. We remind you that only coaches, players, and officials are permitted on the track and playing area. Bedford High School wholeheartedly supports the NHIAA policy on good sportsmanship. Cheering is certainly allowed and encouraged, but please be positive with your cheers and respect meeting here today. Let's try and make this high school event a positive experience for all involved. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, the starters for the visiting Pinkerton Academy Astros. Starting at face-off specialist, a junior number 2, Dylan Single. Starting at midfield, a senior number 4, Jeffrey Gormady. Starting midfield, a senior number 5, Ben Quintiliani. Starting in attack, a senior number 6, Kyle Uskovich. Starting at defense, a sophomore number 7, Brady Blaska. Starting at defense, a junior number 8, Brendan Carney. Starting in attack, a junior number 12, Matthew Gormady. Starting in attack, a freshman number 25, Levi Weaver. Starting at long stick midi, a senior number 33, Jackson Chase. And starting the goal for Pinkerton, a junior number 34, Gavin Burwell. The head coach for the Astros is Marty Ozier, assisted by Brian Murphy and Ken Blaska. Now let's meet the starting lineups for the Bedford High School Bulldogs. Starting in attack, a senior number 2, Evan Capello. Starting in attack, a senior captain number 3, Luke Purnell. Starting in midfield, a sophomore number 5, Dylan Riccio. Starting defense, a senior number 7, Kobe Boyd. Starting defense, a senior number 8, Tommy Frangelo. Starting in attack, a senior number 9, Parker Gupta. Starting the goal for Bedford, a junior number 12, Ethan Kahn. Starting midfield, a junior captain number 13, Bennett Matthews. Starting defense, a sophomore number 14, Cam Santos. And starting defense for Bedford, a senior captain number 18, Brian Riccio. The head coach of the Bulldogs is Steve Godrow, assisted by Ryan McDonough, Cole Carter, Chris Godrow, and Todd Puss. Today's officials are Tyler Leeds, Tim McCaffrey, and Brian Murphy. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you now to stand as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Well, there it is, the national anthem here in Bedford, setting the stage for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. We're presented by Beals Insurance, Nick Anastas along with Roger Howe. Senior night. And seems like half the town of Bedford has turned out here. A lot of red and white in the crowd. I'm sure there's some Astro faithful who made the short drive over from Derry as well. So
big time. Yeah, there's a lot of red on the right side of the stands here for sure. But you know me, you've heard me say this before. I always compare the crowds here to the 2015 BG Bedford game, which we both know was all the way down the hillside here on both sides, and I think the approximation that night was 3,000 people, if I'm not mistaken.
I would say at least that, yes.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
That was when Bedford had, correct me if I'm wrong, won 72 straight?
We went 69.
69 straight.
69 straight before running into that buzzsaw of BG into the 2015 season. So, yeah, we had moved up. The team had moved up to Division I that first year after the 2014 championship, and that was marked on everyone's calendar. Big time, big time.
All right, captain's meeting at midfield. Starters were announced. Again, the sun is out, and we should be ready to go momentarily. 3 officials assigned tonight: Tim McCaffrey, Tyler Leeds, and Brian Murphy. 3 of the best in the business.
Can't get much better than those guys right there. Not to detract from any of the other officials, but as we get closer to the playoff picture and the schedule loosens up a little bit when there's not 15, 16 games on the schedule every night, always good to see them out there. And we'll probably see them come the quarterfinals and semis.
Speaking of the quarterfinals, both these teams guaranteed a home game. The winner tonight finishes with a Division I's best record, 14-4. The loser drops to 13-5. BG locked in as the 2 seed at 13-4. So the winner is likely to host either Dover or Nashua South. They'll face in the preliminary round. That's a 1-game affair between seeds 8 and 9. Pinkerton off to a good start as the Astros win the face-off. Dylan Stingle is the junior, one of the best at the position, ensures the Astros a chance to get on the board first.
Yeah. That's going to be a theme again tonight, like it was last night with Paulo.
1-on-1 spin, shot, and score. Levi Weaver. Well, the freshman showing the post-up game. Quick move to the right, and he beats Ethan Kahn, the veteran goaltender, to make it 1-0 Astros.
Yeah, Ethan went low, thinking, this one-on-one situation. He went low, and Levi went high. Simple play. No help on defense here. This is going to be the key, though, I'm telling you. It's the defensive side I'm really interested in seeing for both teams.
So the Astros strike less than 25 seconds in. They win the faceoff. Now a chance to double up with a backdoor pass. Shot and save. Kahn. The chest high stop on the doorstep, really robbing Matt Gormady there. It remains 1-0.
Well, he stood tall there. He didn't back out. He didn't try to, fake out the shot, and he stood tall and grabbed the save.
Meanwhile, a long pass intended for Bennett Matthews, scooped up the other way by Pinkerton's Nathan Smith. Sophomore is going to lead to a goal for Matt Gormady. This time, not much Kahn could do as Gormady comes downhill, beats him upstairs, and it's 2-0 Pinkerton.
All right, here we go. I'm going to try not to repeat myself throughout this broadcast, but again, a bad clear creates turnover in transition, and you cannot play transition with the Gormady guys and the rest of the Astros offense. They're just too good. You have got to clean that up right now.
Matt Gormady, the junior, his brother Jeff, the senior, been big parts for Pinkerton for the last several years. Here's a shot off the crossbar. It's going to ricochet very quickly into the Bulldog bench. But the assault early continues with just over a minute gone by.
Yeah. Let's just play this out because fast-paced already. Could have been 3-0 very, very quickly in literally under 2 minutes.
Tyler Pernardi, freshman. One of the midfielders going to jog here looking for an isolation. The defender for Bedford is Dylan Riccio. Talented sophomore. Pinkerton will reverse instead. And now take a trip behind the cage. Astros in their third possession. Weaver scored the opening goal. The freshman wants another. Going to draw a slide. His pass is knocked down. A defensive play by Tommy Fragillo, and then it's put home.
Wow. Where do you see this, folks?
Tyler Pinardi. So the youngsters on the road here for Pinkerton already making their impact. It's 3-0.
Watch this scrum for the ground ball, and what happens? It almost pull cues in. He just does it and rips it. Okay? 3-on-2 ground ball there for the Bulldogs, and comes up with a Pinkerton score. Good aggressiveness by the Astros here early.
Tough angle from a crowd for the freshman Pinardi. Bedford, meanwhile, hoping to secure their first possession. They do. After losing the opening 3 faceoffs, Bulldogs on the attack for the first time with 2 minutes gone by in the contest. Home team already in a 3-0 hole.
He's got it. He's got it. No.
To the wing, good closeout. That forces the Bulldogs senior Luke Purnell to change his mind.
Yeah, indeed. Yep.
And now Brody Helton, the junior, committed to Rutgers, is going to take over, one of the state's most dangerous players. Looks for a pick from Matthews, comes near side instead for Parker Gupta. And now back to Helton up top. Helton
good
looking
look
for a backdoor cutter, and there he is. Luke Purnell found the sweet spot there, weak side. The pass is on time, and Bedford's on the board.
Well, give Helton a nice assist here. And again, through the box, good skip pass, right through the defense. Good screen there by Capello, too. Good play by the Bulldogs.
Much needed goal and a response to the early hole. But it's Stengel continuing to give Pinkerton an advantage at the face-off X. Here's an errant pass. As Matt Gormady can't reel it in, Bedford's defense forces a turnover.
Yeah, and good coverage there. Pinkerton hastily throwing that ball away when they really had a good possession going there, or could have had.
Now Bedford cautious on the clear. Helton looking to split dodge. Going to bowl over the third man at midfield. One of the state's best running backs during football season, showing the skills there. May have bit off more than he could chew, or does he draw a penalty?
Yeah.
Took a tumble. 4 red jerseys in the area. A lot of contact.
Yeah, he did fall in the crease, but it was a push.
So Bedford has it 3 minutes in. Chance to cut the Pinkerton lead in half. A little give and go. And now Bedford goes behind the net. Purnell back to Matthews. Fakes the pass, goes backdoor instead, and it ends up with the goaltender. Is that technically a save, Roger, for Gavin Burwell?
Yes, in the crease, right on him. May not have intentionally been a shot, but...
Well, good spin move, and this one's sent back by Kahn. He's going to stamp out the fire and secure the possession. That's Kahn's first save.
Yeah, we don't want Burwell coming into the press conference afterward complaining that he didn't get that save like Ortiz did back in the Red Sox days, right?
One stop apiece unofficially through 4 minutes. Another drop pass, 2 defenders in the area, but Purnell able to scurry away. Goal line extended now, goes behind cage once again. John Purnell with a touch. Bedford's going to reset.
Yeah, learned from my son Brandon, who is the offensive coordinator over at UNH, that Luke is going to be playing lacrosse at UNH next year.
There you go. One of several Bedford commits.
Oh, nice play.
Nice move is right, but a save by Burwell. John Purnell got the step. Looks like an S-dodge there, but Burwell was ready. Long pass, going to lead to a quick clear. Quinn Quintilani able to handle near midfield. He calls for it back. Longtime veteran, the senior. Going to take a jog behind the cage. Keeping an eye for Bedford is Cam Santos, the sophomore pole.
Yeah, Quintilani's had a good season as well. This whole Astro attack has worked well together, putting up numbers.
We'll pick and roll. Near side, this is Jackson Farrell. Shut off quickly. Good slide there from Bedford's Will Frangillo. And again, the pass intended for Gormady ends up out of bounds. So a lengthy possession. Doesn't amount for Pinkerton as the ball is back to the Bulldogs.
Well, again, as you mentioned on the prior unforced error by Pinkerton, they're covering up. They're getting a little tighter here on defense, and that's just what they need to do. Slow down their pace. Don't let these guys play transition. Get a good clear. There we go.
Matthews, an athletic catch. Receiver for the football team. And a Duke Lacrosse commit. You mentioned him in the pregame. Able to rally the clear there. Bedford trying to cash in. Here is Matthews. Open, step down, flies overhead. A few inches high of that crossbar. It'll stay with Bedford.
Yeah, I like the ideas here, though. Unselfish play. Pass the ball around. Get the better shot.
John Purnell going to scoop. So after Pinkerton dominated the opening 2 minutes, scoring 3 goals after 3 face-off wins, Bedford looking to even out the time of possession here with another lengthy trip. The shot is off. Good look, but a few inches off.
Yeah, Gupta had that whole side of the net. The defender fell down in front of him. Should have been right there. Boom. Yeah, just came out weird.
Meanwhile, Matthews sets up Helton, and he's got the sniper shot. A step-down bullet from Brody Helton, and it's 3-2.
Just good awareness here of where you are on the field. Just like we were talking last night about Walden and Heward on Londonderry's team and their connection. These guys know where they're at on the field, and they just find each other all the time. Good connection. And a rifle by Helton. Oh, my gosh.
Back-to-back Bulldog goals. Now Dylan Riccio trying to give Bedford more momentum. After the face-off win, John Purnell's shot ends up flying towards the trees. This one is going to stay, though, with Bedford.
Yeah, I think I would have held on to that if I were John. I'd like to see that come back, although they didn't lose possession. Burwell's pretty good.
Another shot, Helton. This one high.
Well, it's a good thing that they're at the end of the season here. They may have to buy some balls to replenish their supply the way things are flying over the backdrop here.
Meanwhile, Luke Purnell in trouble. Triple teamed. It's taken away. Brady Blaska, sophomore, uses that long pole to his advantage. The ground ball is going to give Pinkerton a transition break here. Extra pass ends up in the hole. Kyle Ushkovic, the senior, carved out some prime real estate there. A good fast break bucket, so to speak, and Pinkerton's back out in front 4-2.
Tic-tac-toe, good clear. Bring it down. Pretty basic fast break. You come down the gut, get the defense rotating, late slide across from Colby Boyd. Got to be a little quicker and anticipate that from the first step up top. Violation on Riccio.
So another win for Stengel. Going to jog off the field here, and Pinkerton looks to get back to work. Trying to string together back-to-back goals inside of 5 minutes here, first quarter. Weaver. Youngsters look good here. Defender is Frongillo. Now Weaver going to make a move to his right. Going to draw a slide. The bounce pass ends up on the turf. Jeff Gormady trying to secure for Pinkerton. Bedford is going to get Dylan Riccio on the spot. Long outlet, contested catch, Luke Purnell. I think that Evan Capello slips away to his left. Going to backtrack now and slow things down as the Bulldogs do a nice job on another successful clear.
Yeah, I like what Dylan did on that. Was aware of where the attackman was and made a bullet pass to him.
Look out, shot and score. Bennett Matthews cocking that one back. The bouncer gives him his first score of the night.
Well, it's the release here that really is effective for him. A lot of times goalies get, a shooter that's stereotyping things, but he came right over the top on this and got a good downward, high to low bounce shot in on Burwell, and that's going to be tough to stop for any goalie.
Meanwhile, Stengel, a clean win for Pinkerton as the Astros look for a response here on the road. 4-3 inside of 4 minutes, first quarter. Pinkerton jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Bedford scored back-to-back goals. And now Pinkerton following the Matthews score at the other end. Looking to slow roll this with Quintilani, senior, examining his options.
Oh, nice defense.
Being grinded
nice
on
defense.
here, yep,
Yeah.
and that's going to lead to trouble. The ball is out. 3 players in the area for each team, and ultimately it's scooped up by Bedford. However, a poke check from behind gives it back to Jeff Gormady.
Get a
Gets the
body.
step. The shot is stopped by Kahn. Another save for Ethan Kahn on the doorstep. A couple of those in this first quarter. Now a long outlet pass. Helton pulls it in overhead. Here comes Brody down the middle. He's got a man near the cage, but the pass a little off target. John Purnell couldn't get there. Now it's Luke Purnell on a quick restart from behind the net. Back out in front with 2:40 to go. Helton against Quintilani, one of the matchups to watch. Helton likes it. Shot, swallowed up. Burwell.
No. Good
This
bump.
one turned over. Helton, shot, a little wide. Well, if you blink, you miss it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the Bedford Ride, quick takeaway. Another pretty good look, but the score stays 4-3.
Yeah, and I mean, good for the Bulldogs, but Helton in his left hand kind of got handcuffed there. Another good play here. Oh.
2 players in the area and a timeout. It's going to keep the ball with Pinkerton. The idea right defensively is both Helton and John Purnell tried to swallow up Jackson Farrell, but Coach Osier ready to go with that timeout. So first charge timeout either way comes with 2:13 to go in this first quarter. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in Bedford, Londonderry, and Epping. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. And finally by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Find out more at nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. And quick PSA as well, public service announcement. We're looking for officials. That's been an ongoing search really all season long, but for those who want to volunteer their time to help out both at the youth and the high school level, well, email Tim Bethke at nhloaref@gmail.com, or of course visit the websites nhyla.org and also nhloa.org.
Yeah, we talked about this the other night. Great way to stay connected to the game. You kids that are getting back from college and want to get trained. Great training program for both youth and once you've gone through your youth stint and you've gotten approved to go to the next level, they need you at the high school level too, and you do get paid. So a little green while you're waiting to get your next career on track is always a good thing. So hook up with them.
Meanwhile, a look at this Bedford High crowd as we broadcast live from Bulldog Stadium. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. A very large number of supporters for both Pinkerton and Bedford. Regular season finale. The winner gets the top seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. The loser has to settle for third. Each team with identical 13-4 records. Bedford is also riding a 7-game win streak. Pinkerton hoping to end the year with back-to-back wins. Jeff Gormady's shot a little high. He was open. The idea was right, but a few inches make the difference, and it stays 4-3.
Yeah, they joined the Smith Connerty Club, where they owe each other some cokes there for missing that. That was right there on the doorstep.
Pinkerton going to pull back out. You can hear the Astros sideline. You can see Coach Osier and Coach Gaudreau, for that matter, both trying to command the attention of the players. This one ends up as a one-on-one move for Jackson Farrell. The sophomore gets the step and knows what to do. The banker makes it a 2-goal game again at 5-3.
Yeah, we don't exactly know what Coach Ogier pointed out here, but the defense is so spread out here. Not a lot of help coming from anywhere from the Bulldogs, and really no direction on where that ball's coming from for the defense to get set and go.
Meanwhile, got a false start.
Yeah, going to go the other way? Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, Riccio, second violation. Stingle stays on the field and decides to attack. And the Astros will cycle it. Pinkerton looking to match their largest lead from earlier. It was a 3-0 contest less than 2 minutes in. This kid got the party started. Levi Weaver, the freshman. Weaver going to come back out here. Jeff Gormady will take a breath, looks to his right, and again Coach Ogier barking out commands. Final minute. Clock ticking down to 45 seconds. Are they thinking final shot, Roger?
I'm thinking final shot, and look what they're doing to the defense. They're spreading things out, locking guys down low to open up this isolation, making that early slide happen.
Jeff Gormady to his left. Bedford going to switch defenders. Popping free is Tyler Berry, the junior. Berry gets a step. Shot saved by Kahn. A belt-high stop for the junior is third. Long outlet. A little too long. Pinkerton is there. The long pole, Brendan Carney flings it out of bounds. That leaves Bedford with just inside of 10 seconds to work with here at the tail end of this first quarter.
Yeah, got to make that pass. Got to make that connection. He had time, even with the clock winding down. You don't want to give the Astros a chance.
This one the length of the field, take it away. Astro defender Blaska gives a desperation heave, and that brings us to the end of the first frame. 5-3, Pinkerton using a hot start to their advantage. Bedford looking to climb back in when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the second quarter here in Bedford. Pinkerton leading the Bulldogs 5-3 in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Good start for Pinkerton. They score the first three. Levi Weaver, Matthew Gormady, Tyler Pernardi. Bang, bang, bang. Less than 2 minutes in, Astros put Bedford in a 3-0 hole. Home team responds with back-to-back goals of their own. Luke Purnell, Brody Helton. Pinkerton's Kyle Ushkevich checks in at the 5-minute mark to make it 4-2. Bennett Matthews on a nice step-down bouncer. 4-3 at that point, and then Pinkerton has the last laugh of the first quarter as Jackson Farrell gives the Astros a 5-3 edge. The winner, of course, will be the number one seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. Both teams 13-4. Coming into this final regular season matchup, the loser has to settle for a 13-5 record and the number 3 seed. The opponents will be finalized, but it looks like Londonderry is going to end up as the number 6. So whoever loses tonight likely will play host to the Lancers in next Saturday's quarterfinal round The top seed will have to wait until at least Thursday night when Dover and Nashua South play in the play-in game, so to speak, the preliminary round 8-9 matchup. Pinkerton. They got contributions across the board there, Roger, in that first quarter as the attack patiently waiting here.
Oh.
Bouncer. No. Staves in bounds. Weaver right behind the net. Looks for Gormady, but he can't handle it. Bedford's going to take away the bounce. Cam Santos. Sophomore pole.
That's trip. Flag.
Hacked from behind. The flag does come out. That fires up the crowd as the game's first penalty is on the way.
Oh, he calls a hold. Okay.
It appeared like it was that swinging of the stick that made contact with Santos' feet and caused the sophomore to go sprawling, but let's take a look.
Yeah, I'd like to think that that was a trip more than a hold. Yeah, that's a trip.
Either way, it's a Pinkerton penalty.
Difference of 30 seconds, though. That's the problem.
Yep. Bedford going to take their time here out of the gate. First EMO for either team. Helton springs free. Face dodge, backtracks, comes near side of the wing. Matthews somehow got that off. Despite a few red shirts in the area, Bedford will keep it. That EMO, though, is starting to wind down.
Yeah, I like the fact that he had vision there. Nice play.
Out in front. Again, a Bedford player ends up on the turf.
Push down in the crease so they get the ball back.
Yep. Well, we've seen both teams try to utilize that off-ball cut, get something near the cage here.
Yeah, I love that kind of offense. Bring cutters down, screeching, disrupt that slide if it's getting ready.
Shot.
Nice.
It's like Burwell may have gotten a piece.
Yeah, he sure did.
If so, I believe that's save number 4 for the Pinkerton Junior. Back to even strength as Astro senior Cole Macklin has evened things up here. Pretty good hit. Jackson Chase, one of the senior defenders, laid some wood. The ground ball goes to Nate Smith. The sophomore is off and running. Pinkerton's got numbers. Shot, score. It's the aforementioned Cole Mackin. Astros running the field well, another transition goal, and they're doubling up Bedford in this first half, 6-3.
Yeah, transition, speed kills. Astros are proving that tonight, and they're not making the mistakes.
Pinkerton goal by number 13, Cole Mackin.
Good play.
Number 25, Levi Weaver.
So the lefty able to sneak one by Kahn, and Pinkerton now scored back-to-back goals dating back to the minute 23 mark of the first quarter. Big face-off win for Bedford's Dylan Riccio.
Important face-off win.
And equally, I'd imagine, an important possession here as well, right, for Bedford?
For sure.
Trying to stem the tide after surrendering back-to-back scores. Matthews coming downhill, look out, shot, a little wide.
Matthews showing he has a left hand that is just as effective.
Matthews, 1 goal for Bedford. Came in that first quarter.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely in the crease there.
So Luke Purnell steps in the crease. As we get a look at the replay. Pretty good spin move, but take that left foot.
Right there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, lights are on and becoming more and more necessary here in Bedford. Overcast today, a little rain before the game, but the sun did arrive in time for the 6:15 start. And again, heading towards sundown, we're under the lights here. Final game of the regular season, senior night. Total of 13 seniors for both teams honored before the game. 3 minutes in, second quarter. Pinkerton playing it patient here. Bedford's defense sagging off a little bit. As Quintilani, running point here, going to examine the options. The defender is Bennett Matthews. Now Farrell springing open. Is Weaver looking, finds a man, shot and score.
Wow.
Well, a good assessment there from behind the cage on the assist. Jeff Gormady, meanwhile, cashes in for his first goal. And Pinkerton looking pretty good right now, 3 in a row.
Yeah, a little confusion down low here on defense. And number 16 for the Bulldogs, that's Frangillo, just didn't get over there in time to get any pressure at all on Levi. Levi is the facilitator in charge out here tonight. That's his second assist, and he's already got 2 goals in front of that. So definitely the freshman making some headway out there.
Meanwhile, Pinkerton looking for a make it, take it. They've had a sizable advantage now, Roger, at the face-off X in this first half.
Sure do. They're up 9.
Meanwhile, Weaver with nowhere to go. He's got Coach Ogier in his ear from behind. Tyler Berry now going to slow things down. Pinkerton suffering, as we mentioned, just one in-state loss. That was against BG. Same thing with Bedford. Both clubs traditionally like to challenge themselves with those tough out-of-state games. That's the case again in 2025. As we see a shot offering there from Barry go wide. A lot of similarities, not just record-wise and schedule-wise, between these two programs.
Yeah, not at all. And, so Coach Godrow bringing some of his contacts from when he was coaching at Pinkerton. Ooh.
That one a little too high for Ushkovich, looking for his second.
To have very similar schedules, as you mentioned. Yeah.
Meanwhile, nearly 5 minutes gone by second quarter. We got off to a little bit of a late start, as I mentioned, because of the festivities. But all in all, pretty quick-moving first half, only 1 combined penalty. And again, Pinkerton really kind of grinding down the pace here.
Well, they're getting things strategically set up to force the slides, and they spread the defense out so wide that Bedford athletically just can't get there in time on a lot of this stuff. And then with the cutters thrown in, that's where they're seeing a lot of success out here.
Meanwhile, Wallace back to work, forced out to the wing, nowhere to go. Now Pernardi, another freshman to his left. Left uncovered for the moment. Santos going to close the gap. And now back to Quintilani. Nearing the midway point. Good second quarter. Perhaps the game's longest possession as Pinkerton continuing to take their time. Now Quintilani spins to his right. Eye on the cage. Shot and saved down by the ankles.
It just
Kahn with his 4th stop, but a scary outlet pass is going to give it right back to Pinkerton. Jackson Chase is mauled from behind as the ball comes out. Now we get a whistle.
Yeah. Illegal procedure.
Yeah,
Ball gets stuck
good defensive play there by Matthews to prevent the shot. Matthews finds Luke Purnell ahead. A bouncer ends up in. There's a flag on the play as well.
Yeah, and the goal's going to be good, and this could very well be. He's going to wave it off. Okay, could have been a push, or would have been a push there. Waves it off because it's a technical. But back and forth failed clears here. Results in a Bedford goal. Kind of.
You see there, Purnell on his way to the ground, able to bounce that one in.
They're going to give that to the brother. They're going to give that to John.
And John's in the area, as we see.
John's going to get it, I think, because he hit the.
Did he hit it?
He hit the defender's stick. Looked like Brady Blasco.
They're going to give it to Luke Purnell.
Yeah. Number 3. Okay. All right. And
well, either way, it was Purnell who made the play.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bedford needed that. First goal of the second quarter for the home team. They're back within 3, but Pinkerton continues to carve out an advantage at the face-off X as Dylan Stingle has been outstanding. Meanwhile, Jeff Gormady has got a Bedford defender on his heels. Now it's back up top. Jackson Farrell being steered away by Santos. Got the pole up under the helmet there. Now Jeff Gormady takes over. Coming up on 5 minutes to go. Big time of possession advantage perhaps in the making here favoring Pinkerton.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, you're up by 3 goals here, so you can't play running gun the whole time. You can't manufacture transition when you've got the ball. So
Matt Gormady survives a clamp down attempt there from Santos. Comes to a walk behind the net. Inside of 5 minutes to go until halftime.
Santos, got to catch up, kid.
Good quick pass
nice.
And a short score for Kyle Juszkiewicz.
That's why.
That's a pretty pass and a pretty finish. Pinkerton looking good on attack. It's 8-4.
Yeah, so Santos gets tied up here a little bit, drops a step on the Astro facilitator here, Kyle Juszkiewicz. Excuse me, Gormady, and gets it right over to just a really nice quick stick there.
Yeah, almost baited the defender and then turned on the gas.
Yeah.
And there's the pass and the one-time finish. That's the second for Juszkiewicz. 7 different goal scorers for Pinkerton in this first half. Juszkiewicz, the only one with multiple goals. That was his second. Meanwhile, another flag. This penalty on Bedford. And look out.
And another.
Extracurriculars away from the ball is going to draw a second penalty marker.
Well, I think you're going to see Helton go.
The official's going to get together some rough stuff on that play. As we see the first infraction occur, and then a little bit of a shot, perhaps offered by Helton, away from the ball just in front of one of our 3 officials.
All right, so we got a trip and an unsportsmanlike. So it looks like Helton's in the box on the unsportsmanlike, and it looks like Santos is in there for the trip. So they're going to be 2 men down for the next minute.
So we saw one Pinkerton penalty earlier. Bedford gets served with 2 at the same time as we close in on 4 minutes to go in this second quarter. Chance to really open it up here for the Astros. They played with the lead throughout this first half. There's the pass. Juszkiewicz, no. However, corralled on that far side. And a good play by the youngster Farrell. Keeps it at this end for the Astros. Matt Gormady behind the net. Over the top. Shot and score. Same play.
Same play.
Juszkiewicz. The one-timer is going to give him a hat trick, and it's 9-4 Astros.
Well, yeah, same play, but this time no defense on Gormady, who gets the facilitator award on this particular goal. But, yeah, that'll go down as an EMO goal for them. That hurt.
Back-to-back goals for Juszkiewicz. So Bedford in some trouble here. Down 9-4 inside of 4 minutes to play in this second quarter. Still a big crowd on hand here at Bulldog Stadium, but the home portion at least has been quieted the last few minutes. Dylan Stingle, a big reason why the junior continues to win at the X for the visitors.
Getting dark here, Nick.
Lights are on. And yes, we are racing towards sundown here as we approach the 7 o'clock hour locally. Pinkerton, as we mentioned, not trailed. They scored the first 3 goals. They're looking for another here. Jeff Gormady, shot, swallowed up. It's Kahn, who's made a handful of stops unofficially for Bedford. Quick outlet. Matthews now on the run. Matthews to his left, fakes the pass, trying to back his way down now. He's going to pull it out.
Really need to pull it out.
After several minutes on the defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meanwhile, we're down to 3 minutes until halftime. Coming up at halftime, stats, highlights, analysis, full recap, out-of-town scoreboard, plus a live look perhaps at some of the youth on display here. We've got several games, several mini games amongst the youngsters scheduled for the halftime break. So all that coming up at halftime. Meanwhile, Burwell is going to venture out of the cage really for the first time this first half.
Yeah.
Trying to help out here on the clear for Pinkerton.
Good clear.
Farrell pulls it in on the run. The sophomore is going to circle back around on the near wing. Santos cautiously closing the gap for Bedford.
No, there's the difference, too, so far in the score and what you're seeing in the game. 80% clears on Pinkerton's side, where Bedford's at 50. So that is a big part of the game.
Meanwhile, Weaver going to reverse directions. This is where he can be dangerous. Draws a slide. Farrell, extra pass. Matt Gormady, not a clean shot, won't get through. Bedford gets it off the bounce. Colby Boyd the other way, trying to avoid 2 defenders. The pole trying to shield the ball, eventually taken away by Kearney. One of the state's best defenders making a play here. Coming down the alley. Wisely decides to give it up. Matt Gormady going to pull it out. We hit 90 seconds. Pinkerton will play with some poise here, looking to protect and build on this 9-4 lead.
Yeah, they will not relinquish this ball unless they make an error on their own. I can't imagine that they would even want Bedford to try and get anything on the board here going into halftime. Yeah, this is the smart play. Get it behind goal line extended. Just rag the ball a little bit. Oh, and the defender falls.
Quintilani looks for an open man. Juszkiewicz, 5-hole. Shot and score on the bouncer. He's come alive here. 3 straight goals, 4 in this first half, and Bedford wants to talk about it. Timeout, Bulldogs.
And I don't know what you do here with this timeout other than you got to win the face-off and stop the bleeding here. But unfortunately, the Bedford team got John Purnell caught back on defense. He gets hit with the shot, actually, that goes between the legs of Kahn on this, okay? But the defender relinquishes coverage on the Pinkerton assist guy, and there he is standing on the crease. So right there he falls, as you can see. Quintilani's got an open field, and not real good coverage there by the Bulldogs on the backside. So, yeah.
Good dive, though, by Juszkiewicz.
Yeah.
Knew when to make the cut.
Yeah.
And Pinkerton has moved very well without the ball or away from the ball in this first half.
And that's been the key because, again, going back to what I said before the game, I was really interested to see if the Bedford defense could actually keep up with the fast Astro offense, and it's clear that they can't.
We've seen a few transition goals tonight, and we've seen that, or those plays made from behind the cage routinely.
Yeah, and I mean, the reason they're running that type of offense is because they are faster than the Bulldogs' defense, and they're getting open, and it doesn't take much when you're a very skilled team like that. That sliver, opening, that you see sometimes on these cuts and some of these plays, they're just tough to defend when you're not keeping up.
Yep. All right, 1 minute to go. Bedford hoping to make a play here. I think they're going to go to a new faceoff, guys.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Is this Teddy? Yeah, this is Teddy LaPointe with a long pole now.
LaPointe going to lose the match to Stingle, and Pinkerton's going to get a timeout.
I like
Second charge timeout for Astro head coach Marty Ogier. So, boy, Stingle has been impressive. Now a chance to build on his latest faceoff win.
Yeah, this is good lacrosse, like we said in the BG game last night. You don't need a goal here, but you're 6 goals up and you're going into playoffs. And why not take a timeout here when you've got a little under a minute left and strategize what you would do in the next 2 or 3 games down the road if you had to get a goal, if you had to do something offensively. And this is a good timeout, again, by an experienced coach.
Yeah, let's expound on that a bit. Marty, kind of a behind-the-scenes guy at the varsity level, top assistant for the last several years, gets an opportunity in the offseason, and now has a chance to guide his team to the top overall seed.
Yeah, he's behind the scenes, but he has been the offensive coordinator for them for quite some time. And obviously, we mentioned this before at the Londonderry game. He comes from a lacrosse family, played for O'Reilly as his brothers did, and has sons that have played. So, he new to the head coaching position, but not new to the game by any stretch.
All right, out of the timeout, Astros look to keep this run going. Juszkiewicz has scored 3 straight, as has Pinkerton overall. A chance to make it 4 in a row, which would be the longest scoring run from either team so far in this first half. 40 seconds. Tyler Pernardi, freshman, given plenty of room by the defender, Frangillo. And now off the switch. A little fake, a little zigzag.
Oh.
Pass up top. Quintilani, a step down. Bouncer is saved by Kahn. Well, the junior saw that the whole way. Now Bedford on the clear, has to hurry. Down to 10 seconds. And now a timeout.
Yep. Yeah, got to be
Coach
Bedford.
Gaudreau waiting for the ball to be cleared. It gets the timeout. That'll stop the clock with just inside of 10 seconds.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, it's almost like Bedford conceded that prior face-off with Teddy coming out there with a long pole. He's been out there on defense with a short stick as a SSDM, and he loses the face-off, recedes back on defense with a long pole, and the timeout stops play. He comes back on the field with a short stick. So they're using him as kind of that utilitarian defender out there. And, I like the kid. I think he's played very, very well this season. He's kind of, a little spark plug out there. Certainly fills the gap that Bedford ran into early with the loss of Kevin Masterdicasa and then with Durso,
right.
Getting hurt and losing him for the season. So they were really, really set back on midfield with some of their quality midfielders, and Teddy has filled some of that in for them, and he's going to be a good one down the road.
All right. Bulldogs hope to execute here. What Coach Gaudreau just drew up. 10 seconds. A little inside of the mark. 9.8. Matthews will start. The junior headed to Duke.
Good pick.
To his right off the screen. Shot, and that one ends up wide. Sails out of bound. Any time left? Yes. 2.5 to go.
Crash the crease here, boys. There it is. Buckle in.
There's the pass. Intercepted by Burwell, the goaltender, and that'll do it. The first half belonged to Pinkerton. The Astros lead here on the road, 10-4 over Bedford, halfway home to their goal of perhaps the number one seed. Bedford going to have to make some adjustments and close a 6-goal gap if they want D1's top seed. Both teams, a lot to talk about here at the break.
Lots to talk about for the guys in white. Lots to go there. They got a big road ahead of them. Maybe some of this youth energy that's coming out on the field will kind of transcend over there to the shack where they convene at halftime, but we'll see.
All right, coming up, we'll take a look back at the first half. Stats, highlights, analysis, full recap, out-of-town scoreboard, and a live peek at the youngsters on the field as well. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Halftime here in Bedford,
Defensive play by number
where
11,
Pinkerton
Hunter.
leads Bedford by a score of 10-4. Third quarter on the way. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Both teams gunning for the top overall seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. Gets underway later next week. One preliminary round game on Thursday, and then the quarterfinals a week from tomorrow. Pinkerton, all business coming in tonight under first-year head coach Marty Ogier. They score 3 goals right away. Levi Weaver, Matthew Gormady, Tyler Pernardi, all within a 2-minute stretch. Bedford responds, back-to-back goals from Luke Purnell and Brody Helton. And then we heard from Kyle Ushkovich for the first time. Scored his first of 4 first-half goals at the 5-minute mark, first quarter. Bennett Matthews, a response that brought Bedford as close as 4-3. That's about as close as they would get as Pinkerton scores one more before the end of the quarter. Jackson Farrell, 5-3 our score after 12 minutes. Second quarter, more of the same. Pinkerton, back-to-back goals. Cole Mackin and Jeff Gormady. 7-3 at that point. Luke Purnell had a rough and tumble score for Bedford. 7-4, but then Ushkovich checked in a big way. 3 straight over the final 4:45. 8-4, 9-4. That was an EMO goal, and then 10-4. So Ushkovich is the man to watch. 4 goals in that first half. Right now, the high water mark is a 6-goal lead at 10-4.
Yeah, and in the back of my mind, I was thinking that Bedford was going to have to worry about the Gormady brothers. They scored 9 goals in that Londonderry game. Matt had 7, if you recall.
Right.
And they've been just more of the push crowd, where Uskevich and Levi Weaver, the freshman, bright future for that kid here, for Pinkerton. But again, Pinkerton came out with guns blazing, fast transition, what we've seen a lot of them over the years, and the Bedford defense cannot keep up. And they're just not, Pinkerton is clearly more athletic out there right now on offense, and we'll see what happens here in the second half if they can strategize something a little different to recover.
Well, Dylan Stengel picking up where he left off. Another face-off win for the Astro Junior. He's going to dodge and weave and then score. Well, a downhill train. Dylan Stengel showing you what he can do offensively. After giving his team a sizable advantage at X, he's heard from on the offensive end.
Yeah, at least once every game, Dylan comes up with a tally, and tonight is no different. Comes right down the defense, fast, quick, and just no answer for that on the Bedford side.
11th goal for Pinkerton, just 11 seconds into the third quarter.
Another violation on Dylan. That's his 3rd of the game.
Dylan Riccio trying to do what he can to get an advantage. Meanwhile, Stengel stays on the field momentarily to spark the offense. The attack going to settle back in. Been a great night for Pinkerton as they have played with the lead. Some of those first half numbers, Roger, favored them, as we mentioned and have talked about, including at face-off X.
Yeah, again, clear advantage on the clears, 82% for Pinkerton, 45% for the Bulldogs. Saves, Kahn with 7, Burwell with 3, and don't need to tell you, you see it all the time. Big shot here.
Yeah, that one rings the bell.
But
may have hit the near post there. A good step down shot. Foot race in the corner. It's going to keep it at this end.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is going to be a great shot here unless it gets blocked. Yeah, kind of weird the way that bounced down and then up off the ring.
Looks like it hit just the bottom of that near side pole.
Exactly.
Pretty good look, though, for Weaver. He got the scoring started. And he's had several assists as well, unofficially. Back behind the net, Uskevich. Weaver. Meanwhile, you can hear the chatter defensively from the Bulldogs.
Yes, you can.
We'll try and close out here. What do we see differently from Bedford in the second half as they look to shrink this gap? Are they going to have to be a little more aggressive defensively?
I mean, I don't know how they can be more aggressive. They don't have the horses out of their long pole, close defenders, to get more aggressive.
Well, they're coming way out here.
They got to press out, but I don't know if they can keep that up. I really don't.
Quintilani. Again, Weaver, we saw this, especially in that second quarter, long stretches on the Pinkerton attack, extended possessions and trips, and we're seeing it again develop here.
Yeah, and I think that this is good strategy. I think you just wear the Bulldogs down right now with this type of long possession. Look how wide they are. They're making them run, recover on the backside. Now they're opened up because they're tired.
And Gormady is stripped from behind. 2 flags fly. Gormady is knocked down. And the whistle brings an end to the action.
Definite slash.
Saw 2 Bulldog penalties in that first half, only 1 against Pinkerton. And another Bedford penalties on the way here. That's Brian Riccio, the senior defender. And ahead of the box without an argument.
Yeah, and we haven't called Brian's name at all tonight, and that's just a sign of how non-existent this defense has really been. Just not a lot of plays coming out of the long poles.
Astros have taken care of it. As you mentioned, an 80+% clear rate in that first half.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot of turnovers to report on either. Although I just may have jinxed them, as Pinkerton almost gives it away there, but Quintilani recovers.
Yeah, I had him for 3.
Jeff Gormady stepped down. That one sails wide. It's backed up by Weaver.
Yeah, 3 turnovers in that first half that were just unrelated to pressure, and they've been pretty tight otherwise.
3 minutes gone by, third quarter.
Oh, good play.
Trying to find Ushkovich. That ball gets through the zone. It rolls to the far side. Teddy Leclerc trying to hack at it for Bedford. Matt Gormady, though, is going to scoop for Pinkerton.
Yeah, LaPointe out there with a long pole again.
Gormady trying to find his brother, Jeff, hoping to find some dry land. With a circle back to his right, now is picked up by Santos.
All right, well, the Bulldogs killed that off effectively. Pinkerton didn't quite look as organized on their EMO this time as they have.
They had cashed in on the loan opportunity in that first half.
Yeah.
Quintilani one-on-one here against Dylan Riccio. Slide comes over, and that forces perhaps the errant pass.
That's over and back automatically, so they pick it up. Yep, he's going to bring it back. So Bedford will get this back, and that is an unforced turnover again for the Astros.
Here's Evan Capello over to Brody Helton. And now Bedford on really, is this their first possession of the third quarter?
Yeah.
Took them a while to get their offense on the field at the start of the game as well. If you're just joining us, Pinkerton jumped out in front 3-zip and has played with the lead ever since. Here's Burwell. Slams the door and then scoops up the slow roller to ensure his 5th save. Pinkerton, as we mentioned, has been consistent on the clear. Going to employ Burwell's help here. As Carney goes back to him. Now Burwell puts the pass on target. He's got Quintilani, and there's the clear. Now the senior looks to the middle. Jeff Gormady, bullet, goes wide. Again, is backed up by Weaver, and will stay right here with the Astros.
Yeah, so going back to the stats in that first half. So Stengel, 81% at the X. That's how you win games.
Meanwhile, Weaver forced to give it up. And again, Pinkerton going to chew some more clock. Already 5 minutes gone by, third quarter. Farrell being shadowed by the defender Parker Gupta.
This is not a good matchup. Better for the Astros here.
They're going to switch, and now Weaver takes the pass.
Yeah.
It's come downhill against Frangillo. Thinks better of it. Quintilani fakes the pass, gets to the net, fires. It's deflected by Kahn.
Yeah.
And then swallowed up by Kahn.
Going to give him that one.
7 stops in the first half for the junior. His first save since.
Yeah.
Bedford on the clear.
Gupta's got to get some help.
And does hook up with Matthews. Now Matthews gets free and fires and scores.
There we go.
Little jab step to his left and then pulls the trigger to his right. That one had some heat. It's goal number 2 for the junior. And it's what Bedford needed as they're back within 6 at 11-5.
Definitely need it. And in this particular case, when you're that effective possessing the ball like the Astros have been tonight and can retain face-off possessions, you're keeping it out of the hands of Helton and Matthews. And that's been very effective. That's really good defense if you think about it, without a lot of effort. And here we go again. We're going to get this one here going.
Matthews is the first multiple goal scorer tonight for Bedford, as he nets his second a moment ago. Helton, he scored. It was back in the first quarter at the midway point. We hit the midway point here of the third quarter. Bedford looking to tally back-to-back scores and make this a 5-goal game again.
Yeah, and Helton didn't touch the ball since early in the second quarter when he missed that left-handed shot right on the doorstep. So we haven't even talked about him.
This one intercepted. Good read. There's Blaska, the pole, making a play. Here he comes.
He throws it away.
Yeah, sophomore, a little too much mustard there, trying to find Ushkovic.
Yeah,
so both teams, a couple of errant passes, and now Bedford looking to work out of their own end.
Yeah, two back-to-back unforced errors by both teams. Bedford needs a good clear here, Nick.
Yep. And that ride tonight for Pinkerton has been pretty formidable. I mean, they've forced a few Bedford mistakes, but that pressure has been consistent.
I think it's more the Bulldogs making mistakes than the real pressure, because, they've been throwing it out of bounds, missing guys, errant passes. It's not like they're locking down at the midfield line with a press ride as they're being patient.
Meanwhile, Roger, I think we may have missed the penalty. There's a Bedford player in the box.
We sure have, yeah. Number 2, that's
Evan Capello.
Yeah.
Well, skip pass, step down, and the bouncer is swallowed up. Well, Con read that one easily. Now Bedford short-handed, trying to work out of their own end. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Dylan Riccio, met by Matt Gormady, goes over the top. Good reel in there by Gupta. Trying to avoid Carney, gets inside of Carney. Back to the corner, Luke Purnell, closed out by Smith, gets inside of Smith. Pass there, though, against Sales. And this one eventually rolls out of bounds and it's turned back over to Pinkerton.
So they start running on attack when they had the ball and moving things, and then make a mistake. They don't look too tight tonight.
Well, Jeff Gormady absorbing a couple of checks, but ultimately steps out of bounds. Got popped by John Purnell. Purnell now told back, or to come back by the official after an apparent early start.
Yeah.
High-scoring first half. Pinkerton led 5-3 at the end of the first quarter and 10-4 at halftime. Matthews, bell-tie shot, stopped by Burwell. Save number 6 for the junior. And now Pinkerton looking for Carney to help on the clear. Finds the goaltender Burwell, back to Carney over the middle. He's got a man to his right. That's Quintilani who gets the step. Quintilani looks left side. Extra pass coming up off the corner there was Ushkovic, but no shot. And now back again for Weaver, and Pinkerton in no hurry here inside of 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Exactly, yeah. Got to pull the defensive midfielder. Get your full 6 offensive guys out there.
Jeff Gormady trying to get inside of Santos. Hooks up with Quintilani. Survives the check and then bounces one in. Benjamin Quintilani, one of 6 seniors for Pinkerton, honored before the game. Calls his own shot there to make it 12-5.
Yeah, so he gets his first tally of the game here against 1 assist. Good read by him to come off that bump, but again, no pressure on the slide. Stops, sticks check.
Goal by number 5, Ben Quintiliani.
And Con had a good look at that too, so really good shot by Quintilani.
He's looked to get others involved tonight. That time he had his eyes on the goal. Meanwhile, Stingle the win, and here comes Pinkerton in transition, but it's bobbled by Weaver, and now on the ground. Up for grabs, taken again by Stingle. The junior going to explore to his left, nowhere to go. The Astros again wisely pull it back out as we hit the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, Teddy LaPointe back out there, so that's the Bulldogs' answer on LSM here. He's going to be a quick slide. You can see he's getting ready. Keeping an eye on his offenseman trying to get in.
Matt Gormady wraparound. No, Ushkovich, yes.
No idea.
On the rebound. Got inside. It looked like of Riccio on the weak side. It bounced right to him, and he knew what to do.
Yeah, and Kahn had no idea where this ball was when it came through to Ushkovich.
So what a night for Kyle Ushkovich.
Yeah.
1 goal in the first quarter, 3 unanswered in the second, and he strikes again here in the third to make it 5 total.
And that's really not a defensive lapse. He just took an errant shot that came out of his cross poorly, and it just went right to Ushkovich.
And while this one rolls to Bedford's Frogillo, who hooks up with Matthews at midfield. Matthews trying to dance away from Stingle, goes over the top. 3 passes later, it's John Purnell who scores on the doorstep. Well, Bedford with a transition goal of their own. Excellent passing that time, finished off by the sophomore John Purnell. That's his first goal tonight.
Yeah, signs of life there off the face-off, so definitely some good play there by the Bulldogs.
His brother Luke has scored twice. And Purnell has been involved in the action
Yeah, good stuff.
throughout the game. Finally rewarded for his effort there. It's 13-6 with 2:23 to go, third quarter.
Yeah, give it to John. He's been hustling out there here in the second half. He's got some grit.
Stingle going to win the faceoff again for Pinkerton. And chased down by his opponent, LaPointe. Going to pump the brakes and pull it back out.
Yeah, so Teddy out there with a long pole doing the faceoff again.
An excellent performance by Stingle. Would you say those first half numbers were 13-3?
13-3, 81 to 19. 81% to 19 for the Bulldogs. So, yeah, he's earning his paycheck.
Final 2 minutes. Quintilani says, go ahead and keep it. It's Ryan Hughes, the sophomore midfielder. Nope, that's actually Jack Ford. My apologies. And now Ford, the sophomore, turns on the gas. Trying to find something on the wing. He's got a man. A little jab step from Matt Gormady. And now back up top to Quintilani.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned that matchup. Matt Gormady against Bennett Matthews out there. And Bennett and Brody have been playing mostly defense tonight.
Pinkerton has had that sizable time of possession advantage. Again, Coach Osher says pull it out.
Well, they got the stall call. That's why they got to keep it in the box now.
Tough catch here. Good defense.
Yeah, that's
LaPointe trying to drive out Jeff Gormady. He's going to dance here in the corner of the box and then escape to his left. And now it's Ford again behind the cage.
Yeah, they should be really pressing adjacent here. And
Matt Gormady wants one. Shot and score. Flags fly. May have been a late hit after the release. All 3 officials throw the laundry. It's been a tough night for Bedford penalty-wise. Their 4th maybe on the way.
Yeah, this might be against Brody again. Unnecessary roughness here. Let's see what happens. Who slides through here? Yeah, that looks like Brody, that is. Let's see. Oh, God. Yeah,
it looked like there was a hit again about a second after that shot attempt.
Yeah.
So if it is Helton, that's his second penalty.
Yeah. And they are going to sit him down. Now the question is, we missed the signal at the table there. Is it a lock? Because it looks like he did ride it high.
Well, Pinkerton is going to be given possession here with 38 seconds to go in this third quarter. A chance to cash in again. They have 1 EMO goal to their credit already.
So they'll treat this like a 30-second, and they'll have 8 seconds at the end of that to kind of hold the ball. They might even just, oh, look at this.
It's just a takeaway.
Brian.
Frogillo, or no, that's Brian Riccio, you're right. Able to spin the pole, looks at the clock. He's got 10 seconds. His pass, though, is picked off. And then flung down the other end, trying to hook up with Ushkovich. Right idea there for Weaver.
Oh, and
but
he
the
got
pass
railed.
a little too strong. We've got 3 seconds left here. 3.3. Frogillo is just going to run out the clock. So,
wow.
Good effort in that quarter, but Bedford fails to cut into the halftime gap. In fact, Pinkerton adds to their lead. 14-6 Astros after 3. Pinkerton perhaps 12 minutes away from the top seed, or does Bedford string together a comeback on senior night? We find out next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Bedford. The Bulldogs with work to do as Pinkerton leads by a score of 14-6 in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. We're presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Both teams with a chance at the number 1 seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. BG, as we know, is locked in at number 2. So the loser tonight slips to 3. And no matter what, will host a quarterfinal game a week from tomorrow.
That is true. That is true. It looks like it could be a Bedford-Londonderry matchup the way things are going right now, unless they can come up with a big bag of goals here.
Yeah. Going to need to take advantage of the chances they've had here. Pinkerton has dominated the face-off X. They have played with the lead on the road here after jumping out to a 3-0 lead in the early moments. In fact, the first 2 minutes of the first quarter.
Wow, look at this.
Meanwhile, Matthews trying to swim upstream and survive somehow, despite 5, maybe 6 Astro defenders there in the area. Bedford shorthanded, trying to run out the clock on a Brody Helton penalty that we saw in the final minute of that third quarter. But as we said, Pinkerton has played with a comfortable lead more often than not tonight. 5-3 after the first quarter, 10-4 at halftime, and now 14-6 to begin here.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's John Purnell. He's going to score again for Bedford. Double his tally from 1 to 2 tonight. Again, able to operate despite a crowded area out there in front of the cage.
Yeah, so Brody comes out of the box, picks up the ball here, and finds John Purnell kind of creeping around goal line extended. I think the Astros just forgot that penalty was being released, or didn't get a good communication out of the bench, knowing that he was coming down the sideline there.
So was that shorthanded?
That should have been, another 22 seconds. So I think, no, not shorthanded. No, because Brody came out and got the assist.
Okay.
He was the guy in the box.
So an even strength goal for Purnell, his second.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stengel, another face-off win as he takes that one off the knee-high bounce. Trying to put some distance between himself and defender Dylan Riccio. And now Weaver, the freshman. Had the ball in his stick a lot tonight. Got the goal scoring started for Pinkerton in the game's opening seconds and hasn't looked back. He's got Frangillo to his
Oh.
left. Ushkovic open again on the doorstep, and there's goal number 6. Kyle Ushkovic having a dream night on the final night of the regular season. 6 goals. And most of them, Roger, have been of that variety.
Well, not only that, facilitated with Weaver's help.
Right.
I mean, Weaver's having a night, too. These two guys have really found a connection out there. And I wonder what Weaver's going to do when Uskevich goes off to college. I mean, he's going to miss his buddy out there. Great chemistry there between these two tonight.
Meanwhile, LeClaire battling for Bedford and a Bulldog win at the X. As Matthews scoops up one-handed. Matthews looking for Luke Purnell, but the pass too low. Taken away by Blaska, and Blaska loses his stick.
Find the man. He got open guys.
And Capello just trying to find his balance after taking a check there from Carney.
Yeah.
And runs out of real estate and steps out of bounds.
Good pursuit by the Astros to recover there.
Heck of a play by Carney. He's played a good game tonight. He's helped out in the clear as he is here. But he's regarded as one of Pinkerton's better defenders.
Not only that, I thought he was a senior. I mean, we've been talking about this kid for several years now, and he's only a junior.
Yep. Extra pass there, ends up on the ground. Look out.
Oh, they're gonna.
Yeah, LeClaire got tangled up in the head area.
Yeah.
Trying to race Weaver to that ball, and as a result made some contact above the shoulder.
He's gonna give him a hold here, more like a push, but the time is the same. So I mean, it's irrelevant. But yeah, a little too much down there in the corner. But look at the hustle by Weaver, though.
What's the penalty count now?
Oh man, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 6 on Bulldogs, 1 on Pinkerton, way back in the first or second.
So another stat in favor of the Astros.
Big time. And they scored only 1 on that double penalty against the Bulldogs. So
2 minutes in, fourth quarter. An 8-goal lead on the board for the Astros. It's been the high water mark tonight. Pinkerton hoping to reward first-year head coach Marty Ogier, the top seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. And of course, Bedford can't come back if they don't have the ball. That's been the case often tonight. Pinkerton, another lengthy possession.
Oh, right there.
This one, though, intercepted. Easy pick there for Matthews. Matthews looking upfield, and that one way behind the intended target, John Purnell. And eventually it rolls again out of bounds.
Well, that's a bad play for 2 reasons. Number one, you had an offensive scoring chance there if you wanted to go there, but you got to kill that penalty. There's still time on the clock here.
Meanwhile, Tyler Berry flirting with the out-of-bounds boundary. Gets a timeout. Yep.
Wow.
Tiptoeing that sideline, Coach Ogier to the rescue with a well-timed TO here. Just over 3 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Pinkerton's going to hang on to possession.
Yeah.
Our broadcast tonight is brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in Bedford, Londonderry, and Epping. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also, by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. And finally, by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Find out more at nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Again, the battle for the number 1 seed has not been as dramatic as some had hoped. Pinkerton really grabbed this thing by the horns early and hasn't let go.
Nope. And they haven't missed a beat. They haven't made many mistakes. If there's anything to look at on the stat sheet in my eyes that they could see a downside is just unforced turnovers. There have been times that they just have made some goofy things happen out there, but that's just, it's not a correction or anything like that. You just got to, clean that up.
This one a little
There
too
it is,
high.
as we speak.
Yep. An inch or so over the extended stick of Tyler Berry. So Bedford hoping to make the most of the opportunity. Drop there, but recovered by Dylan Riccio.
And he throws it out.
Yeah. Well, again, 2 defenders in the area there forcing the issue. As Pinkerton's ride has produced the results they were looking for tonight. Here's Kearney. Going to feather it up ahead to Jeff Gormady. Zigzag move, trying to get to the middle. And instead, going to find some real estate here on the near wing with Fragillo in his wake.
A little bit of action behind the play. Jackson Chase coming up the sideline on that clear, gets a whack from Capello, and they've been jawing a little bit. Keep an eye on that as the game starts to near the end.
We've seen some late hits, some chippy stuff, some unnecessary roughness. That element to the game, I'm sure, is at the top of mind here for these 3 officials as we head down the stretch. 4 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Don't want it to get too chippy out there.
No, not with both teams in the top bracket here heading for the playoffs. You cannot afford any injuries, any suspensions because things get out of hand. Absolutely.
Jeff Gormady shot there about a foot wide. Backed up once again by Weaver.
He has not looked good. He hasn't looked Jeff Gormady-like tonight. He's been very quiet. He's the one that tried to shoot that ball that kind of took a wonky bounce and went right into Uskevich's stick in the third quarter there. He just hasn't looked as smooth as we saw him before.
Bedford's done a good job clamping down on him. Meanwhile, Matt Gormady is going to celebrate.
Yeah, they're going to give it to him. Look at that. Yeah.
That one about an inch inside of that near pole. Good enough for goal number 16 for Pinkerton.
Yeah, and that's going to come from Weaver again. Man, Weaver has been the assist king tonight. Finding the openings. That freshman's got some future here.
Number 12, Matthew Gormady.
Wow.
Assist number 25.
That's a hat trick for Matt Gormady. And it comes with nearly 5 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. Bedford going to win another face-off. Santos lost the ball. Stingle gets revenge. Stingle leading a 4-on-3. Left side, Wallace finds Uskevich, who finds the back of the net.
Oh, my gosh.
A career night for Kyle Uskevich. 7 goals and counting, and that is also going to put Pinkerton out in front by 10 for the first time, 17-7.
Wow. So he's getting into that Beckett Rath territory, as we saw in that Oyster River game earlier where he had 9 goals here. He's pushing. And Weaver gets another apple on this. But good for Stingle, too. He gets the hockey assist there.
Yeah.
He made that play happen.
He forced the turnover and then sparked the break. And here he's going to celebrate another face-off win as Brandon Kearney comes running down the far side.
Kearney wants a piece.
Thinks better of it. Yep. And he hook up with Matt Gormady again behind the cage and now back out along the sideline. Coach Ozier trying to direct traffic in real time here as we near the midway point, fourth quarter. By the way, Roger, got some clarification on the running clock last night. It's a 12-goal gap in the second half only.
Yeah,
So Bedford not quite there yet in terms of the danger zone, but getting close.
Well, I went and watched that broadcast again, and I said to myself, as the clock was getting stopped, what were we thinking,
In reference, we're, of course, are
true.
talking about Londonderry at BG. That game you can watch. It's up on our YouTube channel. That was BG's and Londonderry's final regular season game. 2 tournament teams battling at Lancer Park. You want to check that out?
Yeah. BG put up 18 in that one, and we thought we were going home early, and here we were.
Cardinals, as we mentioned, going to round out the season with a 13-4 mark. 17 games for BG and 18 for Bedford and Pinkerton at the conclusion of this one. So that is why they knew their fortune going into tonight had already locked up that number 2 seed.
Yeah, and as you mentioned,
Matt Gormady gets the step,
Scrolls.
and he beats Kahn at the door.
Scrolls. Now
Starting to celebrate. Here it comes, Roger. You mentioned
Yeah.
the tenacity, and one of the bigger performances all year that we had seen came earlier in the season when Pinkerton beat Londonderry. Matt Gormady at the forefront there.
Yeah.
Starting to get his numbers here in the second half. That's his fourth goal.
Yeah, I checked that card earlier tonight, and he was 7-2 in that game. So he had 9 points against Londonderry, and he was very, very hot. I mean, there was nothing he did wrong in that game, and he's just as smooth tonight. He's just been overshadowed by Mr. Weaver and Uskevich.
Meanwhile, flags fly. Second Pinkerton penalty is likely on the way.
Brody, do it.
Helton
right there.
hooks up with Gupta, who's a little wide from a tough angle.
Yeah, let's.
And now again we have a Pinkerton penalty on the way and a Bedford EMO.
It looks like it's going to be number 14 hitting the box. Let's see what the call is here. Trip. 1 minute. And it is number 23. My mistake.
It's Tyler Pinardi.
Yeah.
Pinardi involved in that early spurt of goals for Pinkerton when they scored 3 in the first 2 minutes. This one knocked down by Blaska. It ends up with the goaltender Burwell.
Wow. Oh, what
and
a hit.
look out.
Oh.
Helton is going to be sent back to the box for a third time as he punishes Brandon Carney.
This is a good call. This is what player safety calls are all about. Defenseless player took him right out, right there. Yeah, you can't do that. This might be a lock. Yeah, there goes the triangle on the bench. So that's going to be a Helton lock for 2.
So Pinardi remains in the box for Pinkerton. So for now, we're at even strength. No argument from Helton.
No, shouldn't be. This is what I'm concerned about, though, is things getting a little bit
out of hand, right?
Yeah, this is.
We're inside of 5 minutes here. I'm sure both head coaches now on high alert.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned the Chase Capello incident behind the play. It started to get a little chippy off ball. When you start seeing plays like that, you can feel it. As an older coach who's been doing a lot of coaching, I can see the benches over there. They're all looking at each other.
Yeah, there may be some words being exchanged as we.
Well, there's words happening between the coaches too. I could see Coach Blaska saying something, and the ref goes over there and says, let's get back to playing some ball here, guys. Probably doing the old baseball warning here.
Yeah.
One more and you're gone. And neither coach wants to see any of that happen going into the playoffs, as I mentioned. All right, so here we go. Tim McCaffrey, lead official out there, gets him going.
Quintilani to his right. As the clock restarts, 4.5 to go now, fourth quarter. And again, a goal here for Pinkerton would trigger the running clock.
Yeah.
Shot and score.
So 17, yeah.
Jackson Farrell, he's played well tonight, Roger, particularly in the clear game. Going to celebrate after scoring that one. That one had some smoke. First goal for Farrell, and that will trigger the clock.
That will trigger the clock, and it does not release the penalty because this is a lock. So I wonder how they actually are going to play this with the clock, I guess. He's got to be released at a stoppage and play. The player, that is. I don't know if they stay. I don't know how they run this with a running clock, but maybe one of the other officials out there is keeping time on a separate watch.
Meanwhile, Roger, another 5 unanswered goals by Pinkerton.
Yeah, this is totally unprecedented or unexpected, at least from my standpoint, the way I was thinking this game was going to go.
Meanwhile, Stengel lost his stick. The ball, after levitating in the air a moment, ends up with Jeff Gormady. And now back to Quintilani as we move inside of 4 minutes to go. Well, I don't think you're alone in terms of being surprised on how this game has unfolded.
No, my phone's going crazy right now. Getting a lot of texts from watchers and viewers of this spectacle that was really a surprise.
It's been a statement performance.
Big time.
Here by Pinkerton.
Big time.
And they're going to look to pile it on. Ushkovic again with a pretty good angle, but goes high. It'll stay at this end. And again, that clock continuing to tick down toward the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, with the exception of Nashua North, I've seen every single Division I team play this year, and the only defense that I see that's going to be able to keep up with Pinkerton right now, the way this team is playing, is BG. And BG plays a similar style, obviously, of transition and quick pace and mistake-free ball, and that's what Pinkerton has done tonight. So that's my statement going into the playoffs here.
I believe I saw BG head coach Brian Cameron somewhere in the crowd tonight.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I bet Papa Cameron's around here somewhere too. Maybe
scouting the opponent.
Yeah,
for sure.
Maybe over in his car over there in the parking lot.
Again, we know who BG's going to be playing. It's Concord.
Yeah, definitely.
That is in stone. It's the 2-7 matchup in the quarters. That game will be in Nashua again a week from tomorrow.
That is correct. Jeff Smith, Coach Smith's got those boys playing some pretty decent ball, but he seems to always end up with them in the first round too. I don't know why, but Jeff and Coach.
Well, yeah, congratulations to Concord.
Yeah.
Another solid playoff appearance.
Yeah.
And Dover as well has a chance to advance to the quarters. Meanwhile, getting the step is Farrell. And the party continues for the Astros. Their fans making some noise down to our right. It's 20-7.
Yeah, so this should keep the clock running, and it does. Just a quick note before we come to the end of this quarter. 3-way tie at the bottom of Division I as of this morning. Concord, South, Dover. They had to, with identical records, identical points, and they had to go to the 4th level tiebreaker to determine that Concord won it on the first tiebreaker. The next two, Dover and South, they had to go 3 more levels down to determine that winner. That's how tight those two teams were statistically in the NHIAA breakdown. So
all finished at 8 and 10.
Yeah,
and as you mentioned, Concord the 7, Dover the 8, and Nashua South the number 9.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, foot race, Ryan Hughes is chopped down. Matthews actually got the worst of it.
Yeah. But
and another flag is going to fly.
But he's going to hit the box for the trip, and that is the right call, even at this point in the game. I'm
been
afraid.
A tough night for Bedford from a penalty perspective.
Yeah, definitely. That's number 8. And it's been a killer for them. They've given up 2 EMO goals. Thankfully, Pinkerton did not score multiple goals on that lock. And now it's time to just rag the ball and get on out of here and get healthy.
20-7. As we move inside the final minute, coming up on 30 seconds here. Reminder, coming up after the game. Short break. We'll come back, break this one down. Stats, highlights, analysis. And I'll get you set for postseason coverage, tournament coverage coming up on this channel next week.
Yeah, so watch the NHIAA website over the weekend here. Yeah. The end of the season is tonight. Big game in Division II, Derryfield, Oyster River. It doesn't have any repercussions for Derryfield because they'll be the 1 seed no matter what. But Oyster River in that middle ground. Yeah. But you'll start seeing that stuff come out.
Final score. Pinkerton 20, Bedford 7. A dominant performance by the Astros tonight to close out the regular season with Division I's best record. Coach Marty Osier guiding Pinkerton to a 14-4 final record. They will be the number 1 seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. Meanwhile, for Bedford, they see their 7-game win streak snapped and finish up at 13-5. That's good enough for the number 3 seed. They will host Londonderry coming up a week from tomorrow. When we come back, stats, highlights, analysis, full recap, and an out-of-town scoreboard as well. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. So become another lacrosse program like Bedford, Goffstown, or Memorial that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Well, final score tonight, lopsided victory for Pinkerton, 20-7 as they capture the top seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Impressive stuff. Pinkerton jumped out of the gate with a 3-0 lead, Roger, and never really looked back. They were led offensively tonight by Kyle Ushkovich. 7 goals for the senior, 4 of those coming in the first half. And then Pinkerton strings together 6 in a row to slam the door in the fourth quarter, putting up 20 in the process, capturing their 14th win of the season. They now await the winner of the 8-9 play-in game between Dover and Nashua South coming up on Thursday. Bedford, they see a 7-game win streak come to an end. They look to regroup and then host most likely Londonderry in the 3-6 matchup a week from tomorrow.
That is correct. And, Pinkerton will have time to, get healthy. As we mentioned last night, the same thing about BG and Londonderry in that game because there is quite a span between now and Saturday. But just an impressive game by Pinkerton. I mean, I really am I'm just surprised that Bedford just didn't make a better appearance, but Pinkerton just kept the pressure going, and the closest they got was that 1-goal gap in the first quarter, and then they just went to the races. It was all Pinkerton.
Dylan Stingle, big reason why those final numbers at the face-off X.
Yeah, 77%, 23 out of 30 face-offs. We talk about it all the time, The clears. Their clear was pretty effective. Bedford's was not. Simple as that. Bedford 7 for 12 on clears, and they did not look comfortable out there on defense, not even for a minute.
Another good game in net from Gavin Burwell. Unofficially 6 saves for Pinkerton, and Bedford's Ethan Kahn was tested all night, but still managed 9 saves?
I have 9 saves for him. It didn't look like either goalie touched the ball in the fourth quarter because possession was all about that fourth quarter and putting the ball in the net. So when you're doing that, you're not seeing the rubber in your stick as a goalie. But he still has some work to do, I think, out there on the clears.
Reminder, if you have not done so, like and subscribe. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is on YouTube at FNLNH Media. You want to stay in the know as we approach next week's tournaments. And I say tournaments plural, boys and girls Division 1 and 2 will have matchups. So the only way to stay in the know, hit that notification bell. It'll alert you when we go live. Subscribe and like our videos. Again, we're on YouTube at FNLNH Media. FNLNH Media. All right, want to thank Corey Parker and his staff here in Bedford, Bill Jennings, and our friends over at BCTV for sharing the space.
Always.
Of course, our dedicated crew here at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Another bang-up job behind the lens tonight from Kat Doyle and Matt Beals. And, of course, the whole thing orchestrated flawlessly by the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, our director, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For the big man in the big chair, executive producer Steve Beals, and my partner and friend, Roger Howe. My name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Pinkerton 20, Bedford 7. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.